The guy at first was great. He, seemed like the kind of guy that I would want to spend the rest of my life with. He did everything for me. He was just the sweetest guy in the world, but at some point that changed.
He was kind and loving, treated me like a queen until I found out that he was hiding his liquor. And then he became very emotionally abusive to me.
He just grabbed me by the scruff, basically, and threw me out the door.
He was drunk, and I didn't want him messing with me, so I just locked myself in the room while he beat the door down.
It got to where he started using like brooms, stuff like that, hitting me with things, and would do it in front of the kids to where he didn't care anymore.
He was pushing me, he was punching me in the side of the face.
Emotional violence, to me, it's the worst. It's the worst, because you try as hard as you can to please that person, and then they turn around and tell you that you're not worth what you thought you were worth, and then you start believing it. And wounds will heal if you're hit, but those wounds inside your heart and inside your soul is going to take a long time for them to heal. A long time.
He was just mean. He would say things to me that I couldn't ever imagine that he would say to me. And he would just blame everything on me all the time.
He would apologize and be the nicest person the next day, but yet he would do it again the following night.
And I thought that for a long time, that maybe if I did this or I did that, that he would change. And he's got to change himself. And if they don't get help, they're not going to do it. And if they're not willing to get help, the words don't mean anything. You get tired of I'm sorry's after a while.
Don't believe their promises. Don't. Because if they're not going to take the steps, and once they get you back in, the steps stop. They may start out well. They may go to AA. They may go to counseling. They may go to drug rehab. They may spend 30, 60 days in drug rehab. And, it's all popping up flowers, but it's not going to happen. As soon as they got you back and got their clutches into you and got you all down in the dirt and on the ground, they're number one again. They've got you where they want you.
The hardest part about breaking free from a relationship is the fear of being alone, the fear of being broke, the fear of not having any clothes, the fear of losing all your friends.
Well, I spent almost 30 years being afraid, completely, totally afraid of everything and everyone.
It was very difficult for me to get out of the situation. I have a lot of self-worth, and having to go to, like, say, crisis response or even ask for any kind of help from anybody was very difficult for me to do.
And I always told everybody, if he ever touches me one time, I'm gone. I left, and I never did. It's not that easy. It's not that easy unless you have somebody. Till now, if I wouldn't have had help, people helping me to do it, I'd still be there.
I woke up one day and realized I was dead. And I didn't want to be dead anymore. And the only way was to leave it, to walk away, so that I could learn how to live again. And that was it.
My advice to other women is to call. Don't be afraid, because they are there to help you, they're there to support you, they're there to do whatever it takes to get you back on the road to, recovering from it and not staying in the relationship.
The support I found with the domestic violence services in the Tri-City area was just marvelous. It was great. They offered me hope.
That's a big thing, is basically just the support, and being around other people that are in the same boat that I am, that I'm not alone, and that, it's not my fault.
I mean, all I had was the clothes on my back, and, they gave me clothes, and, they help you with food, they help you with the protection order, I mean, everything legally.
The shelter, it has a lot of rooms. It has rooms for the people who come and live in it, and it has like a lot of beds and rooms, and it has this big kitchen with all this food in it. Then it has a big backyard with a jungle gym and swings.
Me sorprendió que todo.
When I was at the shelter, I felt so good to be there. I felt like I was at home. They made me feel like I was at home, and I still like to go to the shelter. It gives me a good feeling.
The best thing about the shelter is the people, especially the workers. I made a lot of people, a lot of friends, and people that I know that if I ever need anything, all I have to do is call.
There was a particular advocate there at the shelter that had quite a bit of same problems or situations that I had, and we connected that way.
What I liked best about the staff was getting to go and hug them and see them every morning.
And me being at the shelter, that's the first time me and my kids have actually felt safe, to where I didn't have to ever worry about anything or anything. First time in a long time.
For women who are still in this situation, you need to stop and think, do I want to die by his hands? Do I want to die by his words? Do I want to die because it's what's going to happen? You're going to die. If it's not physical death, it's your soul will die, your mind will die, your hopes, your dreams will die.
Just don't be afraid to start over. I mean, there's a better life out there.
The shelter definitely changed my life, and it's looking very, very good now.
There's angels there in the form of humans, all earthly angels, and they will always be my angels.
Yeah, I thought I couldn't make it on my own, but I can. I know I can now, and I'm going to be fine.
Don't stay. Don't stay another minute. Pick up and go, and you can rebuild your life. You can rebuild everything.